Republicans elected to Congress are reacting to Castro's death today. They were vocal when he was alive, and they have just as much to say today about his life and legacy. Local 10 News reporter Michael Seiden live now in Southwest Miami-Dade with that part of our continuing coverage. Michael.
You know, the sun's gone down, but this celebration continues at this hour. You can hear the horns honking, people banging on pots and pans. This has been the scene really since about 2 o'clock this morning. So many people out here celebrating the death of Fidel Castro. But as you mentioned, a number of government officials out here. In fact, earlier we saw a Miami-Dade County Commissioner who was in tears when he talked about what this moment meant for himself and his family. We also know that a number of Cuban-Americans who work in Congress, they held a press conference earlier today, and they spoke about what they've gone through, what their families who are Cuban exiles have gone through. And they had a very personal message about what it's been like.
My poor father did not start crying all night long. Very emotional to so many, but at the same time, it gives hope to so many in the island that one day they're going to be living the same life we're living here.
This is the most barbaric, most corrupt, most savage dictatorship in the history of our hemisphere. And what is the legacy of that dictator? Separated families. Over 1 million Cubans have left the island. Over 100,000 Cubans murdered one way or another by the Cuban dictatorship.
Obviously today a major psychological weight has been lifted from all Cubans, but especially from those freedom fighters, the opposition, the ones who are risking their lives.
As news of Fidel's death spreads across Cuba, we are receiving reports that pro-democracy advocates, leaders of the pro-democracy movement who oppose the regime, are being rounded up and thrown in jail, purged from the streets, one last measure that symbolizes Fidel's legacy as a brutal tyrant. That is his legacy.
All right, back out here live again. You see as the celebration continues to go on, so many people with Cuban flags, also some American flags. But I think it's important to note, I went over there earlier today to get a cup of coffee, and I was talking to some of the people. You know, not everyone is celebrating. I've talked to some Cubans from the older generations, and they are angry. They said, look, we're glad that Castro is dead, but this doesn't mean that things are changing today or even tomorrow. They know that it's still a long struggle, but still, a lot of people have renewed hope that one day Cuba will have a democracy. For now, we're live in Southwest Miami-Dade. I'm Michael Seiden, Local 10 News.